The materials you will need to crochet a bunny are some chunky yarn and a 6mm crochet hook. So for round 1 we're going to be starting on our feet. So we want to do a magic ring, and into that magic ring we're going to do 8 single crochets. So we are going to be making 2 of these feet, but we're going to be making them in slightly different ways. So after we've done our 8 single crochets, we're just going to pull that hole nice and tight, and then I do a double knot just to secure the magic ring so it doesn't come loose. And then for round 2 we are going to increase, so we are going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch, and this will bring our stitch count up to 16 stitches. For rounds 3 to 5 we are just going to be doing a single crochet into every single stitch, so that will keep our stitch count at 16 stitches. So for our first leg we are going to cut the tail of our yarn, so I leave about a 15cm tail, and then when we do our second leg, so if you repeat the steps that we've just gone through, you don't want to cut the tail. So this is the second leg we've just completed, and instead of cutting the tail you want to chain 2, and then we are going to attach it to that first leg that we made using a slip stitch. So you can pick any stitch you like, just insert your hook and then pull the yarn through to attach the 2 legs together. And then we're going to do a single crochet, and for the next, well, for rounds 6 to 11 we are going to do a single crochet into every single stitch. So now, because we've joined our 2 legs together and we have the extra 2 stitches in between the 2 legs, our stitch count will be 36. So when we do get to that chain 2 in between the 2 legs, what you want to do is just insert your hook into that chain and do a single crochet just how you would do normally. Make sure you only do 2 in this gap, if not you will have too many stitches in your round. So we want to do the same thing both sides of this chain. So we've done one that side that we've just worked through, and then we're going to go all the way around the leg again, just doing single crochets. And as you can see it's got a bit chunkier, and then when we get to the other side we'll just do 2 more single crochets the other side. So after we've done all of those single crochets, we're on to round 12, so we will be doing 4 single crochets followed by an invisible decrease, and that will bring our stitch count down to 30 stitches. For round 13 we are going to continue decreasing, so we are going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 24 stitches. For round 14 we are going to do 2 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 18 stitches. And then for round 15 we are just going to do a single crochet into every single stitch, so our stitch count will remain at 18 stitches for this round. And then round 16 we are going to do a single crochet followed by a decrease, and this will be the last round for our body. After we have finished that round we can just cut our yarn and then pull out the end, make it nice and secure, and then moving on to our head we are going to do a magic ring, and into that magic ring we are going to do 8 single crochets. So after we have done those 8 single crochets, we're just going to pull the centre nice and tight, and then we're going to secure it by doing a double knot. And then moving on to round 2, we are going to be doing an increase. So into every single stitch, we are going to be doing 2 single crochets, and that will bring our stitch count up to 16 stitches. For round 3, we are going to do a single crochet in the first stitch, and in the second stitch we are going to increase. That will bring our stitch count up to 24 stitches. For round 4, we will continue increasing. We're going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 32 stitches. For round 5, we are going to do 3 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 40 stitches. For rounds 6 through to 11, we are just going to do a single crochet into every single stitch, so our stitch count should remain at 40 stitches per round. For round 12, we are going to start decreasing, so we are going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 32 stitches. For round 13, we are going to do 2 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 24 stitches. For round 14, this will be our last round, so we're just going to do a single crochet and then a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 16 stitches. Then we're just going to cut the tail of the yarn. I do about 30 centimeters. Now we can just pull it through to secure it. Now we can start to think about inserting our eyes. So if you have safety eyes, please use those. I didn't have any, so I'm just going to use some yarn instead. So you want your eyes to be about 9 stitches apart. I did it between rounds 9 and 10, but you can do yours slightly higher or lower depending on what you like. So if you are sewing yours on like I am, insert your hook from the back where you've placed your stitch marker just to mark out where you want them. And then we can pull the black yarn through, and then I reinsert the hook 1 round above where I had it inserted it originally, and I just pull that through, and then you just want to keep repeating that. So you insert your hook in the same place at the bottom of the eye, and then reinsert it again at the top, and that should build up the layers so your eye becomes thicker and rounder with each go. And you want to do 2 of these eyes, so 1 on each side. Just make sure when you're doing the second one it is even and matches the first eye that you do. And then when your eye is thick enough, or it looks how you want to, just tie it off at the back with a double knot. And then to add on a little nose, you want to do it, insert just a stitch marker halfway between your 2 eyes, and I did mine at the bottom of the eye. I'm using a pink yarn for mine, but you can use a different colour. So we're going to use the same method. We're going to insert our hook from the back of the work, pull it through, leaving a small tail at the back so we can tie it off later. And then we're going to reinsert the hook 1 round up from where we have inserted it. Now I made my nose a little bit more triangular, so I keep the stitch at the very bottom round in the same place, but I can spread out the stitches on the upper round so it makes more of an upside down triangle shape. And then we just tie it off at the back in the same way we did the eyes. So now you have done your body and your head, it's time to stuff it with polyfill. How thick or how stuffy you want it is up to you. I like mine nice and firm, so I just add quite a lot in. And now it's time to attach the head and the body. So again, I've just used stitch markers to secure it in place so I know where I want it. It's important to make sure your head is facing directly forward because you don't want it to be wonky when you're finished sewing. So using your yarn needle, you're just going to insert your hook into the body and then pull your needle all the way through. And then what you're going to do is reinsert your needle, so you want to pick up one stitch from the body and one stitch from the head and keep pulling it through. And this is something we're going to do all the way around, so insert your needle into the body, into the head, pull it through, and then eventually we should have a head that is firmly attached to the body. And once you are happy that your head is attached to your body, you want to tie off your yarn, so you pick up one stitch, and then you're going to create a little knot, but make sure it's nice and tight so it's not visible. And then we're going to reinsert our needle and pull it through just to a random place through either the body or the head. It doesn't matter, this is just to secure the yarn. And then after we've secured it, you can just cut it off. Moving on to the ears, you want to do a magic ring, and into that magic ring we are going to do 6 single crochets. So we're just going to secure that magic ring with a double knot in the same way we have done with everything else. And then into round 2 we are going to be doing a single crochet followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 9 stitches for this round. For round 3 we are going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 12 stitches for this round. For round 4 we are going to do 3 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 15 stitches for this round. For round 5 we're going to continue increasing, so we're going to do 4 single crochets followed by an increase, and this will bring our stitch count up to 18 stitches. For round 6 we will do 5 single crochets followed by an increase, bringing our stitch count up to 21 stitches, and this will be our last round of increases. For the next 3 rounds, so rounds 7 through to 9, we are just going to do a single crochet into every stitch, and this will bring our stitch count up to 21 stitches. For round 10 we are going to start decreasing, so you want to do 5 single crochets followed by an invisible decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 18 stitches. For round 11 we are going to just do a single crochet into every stitch, so this will keep our stitch count at 18 stitches for this round. For round 12 we will continue decreasing, so you want to do 4 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 15 stitches for this round. For round 13 we will just do a single crochet in every stitch, so this will keep our stitch count at 15 stitches. For round 14, this will be our last round of decreases. So you just want to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 12 stitches for this round. And then for the next 2 rounds, so that is rounds 15 through to 16, you just want to do a single crochet into every single stitch. And that is our ear complete, and you want to make 2 of these ears. Next up we have the arms. So for the arms we want to start with a magic ring, and into that magic ring we are going to do 6 single crochets. In the same way we've done every other magic ring, once you've done your 6 stitches, we're going to pull the centre nice and tight and secure it with a double knot. For round 2, we are going to be increasing, so you want to do 2 single crochets into every stitch, and this will bring our stitch count up to 12 stitches. For round 3, you want to do a single crochet into the first stitch, and then into the second stitch we are going to increase, and we're going to continue this all the way around to bring our stitch count up to 18 stitches. For the next 2 rounds, so rounds 4 through to 5, we are just going to do a single crochet into every stitch, and this will put our stitch count at 18 stitches for these rounds. For round 6, we are going to start decreasing, so you want to do a single crochet followed by an invisible decrease, and this will bring our stitch count down to 12 stitches. For the next 2 rounds, for the next 3 rounds, so rounds 7 through to 9, we want to do a single crochet into every single stitch. So this will keep our stitch count at 12 stitches. And now you should have made 2 of these little arms. So I'm just going to put a little bit of polyfill in each of these, not massive amounts because I like mine nice and soft. And then I've used my pins just to mark out where I want to attach them to the body. I like to put them right in the crease in between the head and the neck, and I put them at either side of the head. So they're not at the front of the body, they're round to the side. And then we're going to attach them in the same way we did the head to the body, so you want to pick up 1 stitch with your needle. It will be quite tight working into this neck crease, but you should be able to find a stitch, and you're going to pull that all the way through. And then what you want to do is to pick up 1 stitch from the arm and 1 stitch from the head, and then pull it all the way through, and you want to repeat this all the way across the arms. So we want to do the same thing for both arms. Just make sure that when you're attaching the second arm that it's in a similar position to the first one, so you don't have wonky arms. Once you've finished attaching your arm, you can insert your hook one last time and just create a knot in the very last stitch to secure everything. And make sure you pull that knot nice and tight so it's not visible, and then we can just reinsert our hook anywhere into either the body or the head and pull it all the way through, just so we're securing that tail piece of yarn, and then you can just cut it off. And then to attach the ears, I've attached them at the top. I've done it 3 rounds away from the centre of the head. And you want to make sure that the top of the ear is in line with the round. So we're going to pick up our first stitch in the head, going to pull our yarn needle all the way through, and then we're going to put our yarn needle through both sides of the ear and then pick up another stitch in the head, put it all the way through, and we're going to continue this pattern the same way we have done previously for both ears, just to attach them both. And then once you're finished, you should have something that looks sort of like this.